One of the most common seabirds that we have here on Whidbey Island is the Pigeon Guillemot. And this is a bird that is just charming and engaging and very fun to watch. They nest in colonies, so there's a lot of pair interaction. Pigeon guillemots are a little chunky seabird, and they're mainly black. They have white wing patches, and then they have bright fire engine red feet, and they have a red lining to their mouth. They're a very social bird. They come in the spring in large groups and spend a lot of time singing to each other and doing sort of do-si-dos on the water, diving underneath the water, coming up, and then they separate into their pairs. Again, they often come up on the beach or up on the rocks and sing to each other and move around and communicate. And then they choose their burrows and breed in that burrow. The Guillemot Breeding Bird Survey has been supported by the Marine Resources Committee for over 10 years through a grant that funds a research intern during the summertime. Our volunteers go out for 1 hour a week, but having an intern who can be out for 4 or 5 hours a day at selected colonies gives us the in-depth data that we need to really understand more about the species, about their breeding success, more about their habits through the day rather than just one snapshot.
So I'm a research intern for the Whidbey Audubon Society, and I'm studying the Pigeon Guillemot, which are these birds you see behind me. And they come on shore in the summer, and they nest in the burrows. And they don't actually create nests in these burrows, so they just kind of pick one and they lay their eggs in it. They don't bring any sticks or anything to make it homey, and I'm kind of tracking their population here. By every half hour I'll count and see how many there are, and I also track the deliveries to the nest, to the burrow nests, to their young. And along with that, I'm also tracking the disturbances. So either an eagle or someone walking on the beach or something will disturb the colony and they'll all fly off, and I'll see how long it takes for them to come back. When they do deliver to their chicks in their nest, they typically bring gunnels or sculpins. And those are the two most common, but we do also see some forage fish like sand lance and perch and some other various species as well.
Our volunteers are amazing. They love going out on the beaches and watching their birds. They get to know them quite well. It's a project that we established the protocol, kept our data as clean as we could, and we were recently published in a scientific journal. So even though it's a citizen science-based project, it has been recognized through the marine bird science community here in the Salish Sea as a model project. Even though the project started right here on Whidbey Island, it's now being replicated in 4 counties in the Puget Sound area, and also out onto the Straits of Fuca. So there's potential for more groups picking this up and stitching together the various colonies up and down Puget Sound to get a wider view of the activities of the guillemots here.
Well, one of the things that I've observed at the Langley colony is that even though the birds are pretty immune to the behavior of people and dogs and kayaks and the coming and going of boats, is that the eagles will definitely send the birds into panicky behavior. They either dive or they seek cover underneath one of the docks where they're out of the sight of the eagles. They are aquatic birds, and it never occurred to me till I studied them closely how in the evolution of the species they've traded off so many aeronautic attributes for their ability to swim and dive and capture prey beneath the surface. They're wonderful swimmers, but rather ungainly in the air.
So their wings are short and stubby, so they're not great for flying, but they do dive underwater really well. They're made for swimming underwater. It's like they're flying underwater. Because they're torpedo shaped, they just can zoom right through the water really smoothly.
The Guillemot project started in 2003, and we've learned that one of the main values of this is to collect data on a long-term basis.
We consider pigeon guillemots a species that can echo the overall health of the Salish Sea. We know that if their numbers start to go down, there's a larger problem in the environment. The pigeon guillemot is very susceptible to changes that may happen in the water column, whether it be acidity or toxins.
I really feel that the natural world really shouts diversity at all of us, and the importance of diversity and the beauty of diversity, whether you're looking at flowers or trees or insects or birds or fish or mammals. There is something so compelling that diversity gives us. You can't put words to it. And so the idea that we study these birds so that we can possibly learn how to maintain an environment where they will continue to be a part of the diversity is the reason I'm really involved in this project. That's what keeps me here.
The project has been recognized as a model citizen science project by the ornithological community, and we're very grateful for that recognition, and that we know now that citizen science can cover areas where the Fish and Wildlife or other more science-based organizations can't really do the work on the ground that we can do. I have a feeling that this project will go on as long as we have volunteers that are willing to go with it.